Hey, this is GAB-ON.com, and today we're with Bobby Murray in Windsor, Ontario. Bobby runs a very popular Facebook page called the OHL Alumni page, and today we are at the epicenter. This is where Bobby gets all his work done. There's I wish you could be here, but there's just books everywhere, and there's cards, there's programs, and Bobby does this all by himself, runs a pretty magnificent page, and very popular with OHL alumni guys. And Bobby, I just want to know, it's like, first question is how did you get started with this?
Well, it all started with the Windsor Spitfires. I found a few players on Facebook and remembered them from back in the day when they played with the Spits, and kind of snowballed from there. That one player led to another and led to another, and you know the Facebook deal, and next thing you know, I had 250 Windsor Spitfire alumni. And then you look at their friends, you know, everybody creeps a page once in a while, and you know, they had OHL friends, so I started adding this and that, and next thing you know, you got a whole slew of OHL guys. It was pretty cool. Guys that I remember, you know, like at one time I had 4,000, and this time around we're going to shoot for 5,000 OHL players, which is about a quarter or a fifth of all the players who ever played in the OHL, or the OHA, the Ontario Hockey Association, which was called before the Ontario Hockey League. And that's kind of how it started, and I've had some ups and downs. I thought I got too popular one time, and Facebook kind of give me the gears or whatever, but it's going pretty good, slowly but surely.
Bobby, you know what, I noticed you got Team Canada going, and today's December 28, 2012. Team Canada, they played Slovakia today. They beat them, and it was sort of a scare at the beginning, but what does this team look like this year to you?
Well, they look pretty solid. I mean, tonight's game, they are down to 10 forwards, and it's tough to play that caliber of hockey with 3 1/3 lines, you know, but yeah, they've taken their licks too.
Did you see them going to the gold medal game? Just that type of team?
Well, certainly, yeah. I have true faith in Malcolm Subban. He's been kind of taking a little bit of a knock with this and that here and there, but I think he can do the job. And if not, Jordan Bennington or Jake Patterson will be just as effective, in my opinions.
How many OHL guys on that team?
I believe there's 8. Ryan
Wow.
Strome, Dougie Hamilton from Niagara. You know, I don't want to name them all in case I miss one, but yep, they've got a strong presence, as they always do.
Bobby, you put so much stuff on there. We talked about that, and just one of the things that's pretty amazing is you got a lot of hockey guides, you know, reference. Now this alumni page has become a reference for hockey guys, coaches, media guys, the whole thing. So it's really become popular as a go-to place.
Yeah, if you like the OHL, and you know, it's past, present, and future players. I mean, you know, I'm trying to work in some of the younger guys, like Josh Osang's in now, and you know, it's not like I have a list of players. You know, I just somehow I remember the names. My retention for remembering a defenseman who drilled somebody in the boards is what I remember. You know, stuff like that. And you know, a lot of players left etched a lot of memories in my mind. Ty Domi, I remember him coming in with Peterborough Pete's, and you know, it just goes on and on.
Yeah, your passion is tremendous, and the stories you write is just I've never seen so many likes, you know, and just you're hitting home with guys about some great memories in the OHL, and I think that's the cool part of it. Some guys that are getting up in years are going back and having some great memories, and I think that's what Facebook is all about. And
well, it's pretty cool, you know, when you get a friend, you know, when you know, like that was what happened earlier. I think I sent out too many requests, and Facebook kind of got a little peed off, and I don't know what happened, but it wasn't pretty. But this time around, you know, I'm just kind of, some players are, you know, asking to join, which makes it a lot easier for me. I don't have to, I wouldn't say pester them, but you know, sometimes you may send a guy 2 requests, not remembering that you know, the previous one, that type of thing, and But it all nice and slow this time, and I think by the end when I get 5,000 it's going to be pretty good. And I haven't gone to the media kind of guys, or you know, maybe some of the coaches as much as but eventually we get to all the right across the board.
Yeah, you know, and just because your knowledge alone, just the OHL and hockey, Bob, you're a hockey fan, you're a hockey connoisseur, we'd like to say, and you've done some scouting.
Yeah, not officially type thing, you know. I didn't make a ton of cash doing it. I've been kind of learning, slowly learning.
Bobby, you're a little bit humble, and I think what's happened is there's some guys that are looking for OHL players that may not make it to NHL but have thriving organizations, and you've pointed some guys that way, and you're just being humble right now, and I know that that's a great thing. But a quick thing about just, you know what, you're doing it every day, you're committed to this. Obviously, there's a ton of passion. What's the funnest part for you?
Oh, I guess, you know, when you get a friend request, or, you know, one of the players accepts, and, you know, it's someone you liked as a player, or as I liked as a player, you know, whether he's just the OHL, whether he made the NHL, you know, or the AHL, it doesn't really matter. Players just tend to stick in my mind. But what I like is, you know, even some of the older guys, you know, that played back in the early 70s, like Mike Forbes, and I wouldn't say old, but, you know, as far as the league goes, back in the early 70s, Greg Thaberge and guys like that, where maybe I find a picture of them that they get to show to their sons or their daughters, or their just family in general, that he hasn't even seen, you know. That's what I would love to be able to do all the time. But I don't have the cash or the resources to, you know, get by every picture that I see, or, you know, and I try and honor the copyright stuff, and I don't take watermarks and stuff, and, you know, that type of thing. Try and be fair all the way around.
But you're always snapping pictures at the WFCU, and, you know, people see Bobby down there taking pictures and taking a huge interest in these young kids, and you've told me before that's one of the funnest parts. And I want to wrap this up, and I want to thank you for being on GAB-ON.com. And before we end, there's always one thing we do at GAB-ON, is find something trivial about Bobby Murray.
Well, you know, a lot of people ask me if I played in the OHL, or if I'm Bob Murray, the general manager of the Anaheim Ducks, or one of the two Bob Murrays that played in the NHL, and that's why I changed my name to Bobby Murray. Just to kind of get away from that a little bit. And,
well, just another Bob Murray in hockey.
Well, the Murray name is, yeah, it's synonymous with hockey. But my thing is, I won 3 Canadian championships as a pitcher in baseball. And I would think that would surprise some people,
yeah,
maybe.
That is awesome. Well, Bobby, thanks for the interview, and you have a great day.
Thanks, GAB-ON.com. I appreciate you coming by. Thank you.